So, you want to know about the PewDiePie war. Well, you see, many years ago, I myself was part of it, and I'm being called back into duty. In fact, these pins are all from previous missions in the army of PewDiePie. This one is from me starting my Twitch channel. That's actually a generic award that not only the army of PewDiePie gets. This one is for Twitch streaming multiple hours of PewDiePie, saving PewDiePie. A variety. These 6 are from busting TikTok thoughts. These 3 are from Dr. Phil missions, and then these 2 are directly fighting T-Series. Now, later on, I will recall to you one of my most feared war stories. But first, let me tell you some backstory. This right here is the one that this story is based off of. My prized possession. Now, see, we were storming India, but it was unlike most. See, this was back when the sub gap was under 1,000 or so, and the money wasn't high, extra money, because PewDiePie tried paying Brad, which honestly never worked. Like, he considered it, he had the money there, and then just canceled it, so, you know, the money was still coming back to us. But, so, they couldn't drop us with any weapons, only a parachute. Now, we dropped into an old combat zone, so there would be weapons lying around with armor and other various materials used to attach to guns. Get into this story. We were held in a remote place about 100 miles off the main island. It was specifically the secret base was specifically designed, if I remember correctly, to look like a location on the island to confuse the pilots flying over it, enemy T-Series bombers. They played trashy music, so we kinda wanted them out, which is why we didn't make it Sokovia military base. Which, as you can see on the map of this area we are about to invade, was right here. It would have been 10 times easier for us to carry out operations, but they played annoying music, so we didn't want them landing there. As you can see, there was literally no dress code. We were all piled into the plane. One by one. We were to go over Severny, all the way past the shooting range. Nobody knew how to pronounce that one. Reshook, the school, the farm. Polchinki was where their main location was, so everyone was landing there. Little did I know it would contaminate all of them. So, I went to land on the farm. Small one, if I do say so myself, especially for such a huge area. But they made do with it. I mean, considering their taste in music, they probably didn't have much of a taste for food either. We came down on the place. It's actually pretty peaceful looking, but it would turn into a hellish landscape eventually. I saw a couple parachutes in the distance landing at a nearby town. Then, out of the corner of my ear, I heard some annoying music. But I had earbuds in, so I just started playing. Literally nobody else brought earbuds, by the way. They bought AirPods, which fell out when their parachutes deployed. I would later find out that this is why they got brainwashed. Because the music would seep in. But luckily with my wires in, wires. I was able to keep my earbuds in and avoid the hypnotism. If it weren't for that one small move of staying broke, we might have all perished that fateful day. Trying to jump out windows was often annoying, but you could get the hang of it eventually. The amount of loot that was lacking was scary too. I knew T-Series soldiers would often be better armed than me, so I would have to stay sharp. Little did I know, I would be the only armed PewDiePie supporter here. There we go. Is that a better narration point for you guys? Is that easier for people to see in the flashback? Alright. I had to alter the view of the flashback cam for you guys. Yeah. I like seeing my things in third person. It makes me forget that that was me being treated totally inhumanly. Being left for dead. Helps with the stress and all. You know? Anyway. Coming up, we really didn't have much at my home, so looking at all this was mind-blowing to me. How could such a corrupt organization have this much, you know? Little did I know the word corrupt had a lot to do with it, yeah. Later it would be found out they were using an inhumane tactic known as subbots, forcing poor people to be enslaved if they supported PewDiePie, forcing them to create alternate accounts, and subbing to T-Series. That was their form of a subbot anyway. The actual form is an actual robot, but let's be real, they were broke. So they stuck with imprisoning humans and using those as subbots. Oh, wait, I don't need to check those. One second. I'm trying to recall where I was at this point. Yes, I was in the house. Time to take a look at the map. T-Series supporters would be closing in, and the next range of places where it would only be safe to listen to, or else the music would be too overpowering, was in. I didn't have much time, so I had to get running immediately. No big scopes, no nothing. This would be one main downfall of fighting. You'd have to run halfway across the island to possibly get to the entry zone for the next place. Figured I'd loot some other places. You know, I'd need a genuine assault rifle if I was to survive. T-Series supporters could attack at any moment is what they said. Little did I know they were talking about my comrades. I looted some other houses. All of these houses looked in perfectly good, unbattle-scarred shape. Which confused me because we had about 100,000 lead on them that just disappeared. And you'd figure a couple 100,000 wouldn't go down without a fight, but they did. Those broadcast towers were half the reason. Right there, you see in my flashback, you know what I'm looking at, right? Those. Anyway, sorry, I had to edit that flashback real quick to show you guys. My wired earbuds were fortunate enough to keep me protected. Like I said, AirPod users had lost their AirPods during the drop, so that would have completely finished a brainwashing procedure if I hadn't stayed broke, unlike all my other comrades. Is to unite up with these guys in the next safe zone. But I think they pretty much all got brainwashed the second they dropped. So I didn't know that at the time, but I don't think there would have been a happy reunion if I had found a convenient person there. Loading a revolver, I decided now is the time to go. Finding an abandoned vehicle, I instantly went for it. And since we're rare and could get you far and do good. Intel just came in, around the time I started driving the vehicle, you know. Apparently, they had prepared bombers, and were set to bomb this place at any second. I was just driving through, actually. Luckily, I came prepared. The car pretty much took me out before I could even hear a bomb. We're now at TCU's headquarters, which is likely to be untouchable, unfortunately. So we hadn't quite won the battle yet. Latest subgap intel told us it was below 9,000. We had to shape up fast. Although T-Series headquarters was out of the way, the rest of some other parts of the town weren't. You can hear the bombs behind me right now, actually. In the flashback. I rove up on probably one of the head executives' houses. As you can hear in the background, other people, probably already brainwashed, showed up just around that time too. This guy knew it was brainwashed. He was too close to the center not to be. So, I decided to take aim. Plus, we were told there would be thousands of T-Series supporters, so I thought this guy was one of them. Definitely one of them. I've managed to kill him. It surprised me, though. That guy was a registered soldier, so I figured there was nobody safe anymore. Decided to swap out one of my SMGs. Actually, that one. For a better rifle. One that would work and all. Also had heavier ammo. I would equip all that I ever wanted with it too, which is nice. Fortunately, the rifle I picked up wasn't very customizable, but I was able to get what I needed out of it, you know? Also, I found his med kits and energy very useful. There was looking like a total heroin addict too. I had noticed a better backpack. Never mind, it wasn't. Were the first two things going through my head, and what was that? what's also going through my head is that little thing appeared on the screen of your flashback. Anyway. We've pretty much looted up this whole place. The music would also apparently zooming in on the other parts of the map. Guess it's like I heard some shots coming in. I wanted to know where they were from. Just checking houses, windows. That smoke would give away its position. There I died. Well, not died, you know, I'm still here, honestly. But couldn't locate my body. I disappeared somehow. I woke up. We had won the battle, but that was like weeks later. Apparently I'd been diagnosed with a high amount of music in my system. There I am today. Look, you know. I've been diagnosed with a high amount of music in my system. I'm sorry. This therapy they're trying to use to get it out of me is messing with my memory and speech patterns a bit. There I was anyway, you know? They had somehow managed to save me from near death after weeks. Hey, yo, look, for real now? Sorry if you hear background noises. Sorry if my script was bad. This is me breaking character, by the way. This is after the roleplay. I just wanted to say, yes, this is a real military uniform. Yes, it was very uncomfortable playing. Yes, I know that was much of a game and I played like shit. But, you know, I hope you guys didn't find the concept of the roleplay too weird. I thought it was funny as hell. You know, I didn't do a good job narrating. I'm sorry. It's my first time trying something like this. But for real, though, all these pins, like you see right here, right? Those are real U.S. Army pins. I have a lot of those. I know they're probably not in the right spot, or I don't flame me for that. This uniform, actually, I'd like to thank the veteran, who I will not name because she's my neighbor, so that would give away my location. But he passed away a couple years ago, but he served in the, I think it was Korean, Vietnam War, and maybe the World War II. I'm not sure Pacific or Atlantic Theater, I don't really know. But I'd just like to thank him for his service to his country, and also for giving me this uniform. Well, for his family for giving me this uniform. They gave a lot of the stuff to me after he died, so hey, it's a cool uniform, right? Yes, the name. The name. This name is censored out. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this off the camera over there. Anyway, this is a private censored signing out.
Justice once. Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be. Set the fuck down, T-Series. I'm here to spill the real tea.